up, one down.
All right, about 30 seconds. Taking you back 11 years to 2011, Robert Earl Keen, and I Gotta Go. It is 9:04. I'm Chuck Taylor. It's the All-Star Morning Show. I'll tell you where you got to go this afternoon, or this maybe early this evening. Good Records. And why do you got to do that? Because Joshua Dylan Balis is going to be there. He's got his album We're on Fire, and they'll be selling that there. He'll be doing an in-store performance. It's going to be a lot of fun, and we have him in studio right now. How you doing, man?
Good, man. I feel like I've got you in the studio. I'm excited to be here.
Well, we're excited because our friends over there at State Fair Records, they brought this album to us and said, hey, here's the whole thing. This is before anybody even released it. We were playing it first over there, and we heard stories, and we were like, man, that's a song we got to play. And then my boss Joshua Jones says, I know his dad, and said, so he said, this is a song we need to be all over, and this is an artist we need to be playing, and we've been doing it, and we love it, and the listeners love it.
Thank you. Well, I'm honored. You guys are my hometown heroes. I appreciate it. It's been exciting to put this record out, and my dad, he's been jumping in on bass with us when we play in Dallas. He played with us last night out in Fort Worth, and if anybody comes out to the Good Record show, he's going to be playing with us tonight too. Yeah, and so is your Levi.
Levi, who we don't talk about.
Yeah, we don't talk about him.
Levi the unknown. We don't talk about Levi.
Glass.
We just put him to work and make him do lots of stuff. So I was reading this article, and you correct me if the article's wrong or if I'm wrong, but it said an apartment fire kind of spurred you to get off your butt and start doing what you wanted to do.
So I'd been into this band for a couple years, and we tracked an entire record, and then it fell apart. We just broke up. It was probably for the best, but I was like, man, 2 years have gone by, I haven't put anything out, and I was living downtown at the time, and there was some kind of a kitchen fire, I guess, on the floor below, and I was up probably 7 a.m., and I look out the window, and there's a wall of windows kind of like in the studio, and it was just black. I mean, it was the middle of the day, and it was black smoke, and I was on the 16th floor, so I was like, okay, if the smoke is this thick and this high, this has been going on for a while. And it was the middle of winter, and I scrambled, and I threw on all my clothes. I didn't have on any socks or underwear. I had like a hoodie and jeans and like some flip-flops, and I ran down.
The girls had to love that.
I hope they did. I felt like a creeper running down the stairwell.
Right.
I remember like running down the stairwell, and there was this girl chasing her dog, and I looked down, and my belt wasn't done yet, and I was like, oh God, this would look out of context pretty scary.
Pretty scary, yeah. The whole situation had to be scary, though, right?
It was scary. I mean, it happened fast, but then it wasn't like a car accident where it was too fast.
Right.
You don't even have time to be scared, but this was like minutes so terror had time to build up. And I finally got down to the bottom of the street, and it was like they'd closed and locked the gate, and they had to use the jaws of life to get it open, and we got out, and I had no idea what was going on, but by the time I was down the street, there were like 40 fire trucks and ambulances down there, and they were trying to get a hold of the situation, and I was like, well, what's going on? They were like, well, it's a grease fire. I didn't know that. It's good that it was. Nobody was hurt. But it scared the heck out of me, and probably about a month or two later, I wrote the title track for the record called We're on Fire.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, well, I need some kind of a change. I'm going to make this record, and called some studios around the country, wound up tracking it in Nashville, and that's it. Now we're out on the road.
Yeah. Nothing like your own mortality to kick your ass, right?
Right? I think that was the first time I ever really had to think about it. It was just like, well, this is real. I thought.
Well, you're a young man. I mean, you're not supposed to be thinking about that right now, right? You're supposed to be going out, living life, and having fun.
Yeah.
And then you face something like that.
Yeah.
And you're like, man, life's not as
Yeah.
as easy as you think.
No, yeah, it rattled me. I was jumpy for a while. There was like a demolition downtown a couple years ago, and I remember I woke up at like 5 a.m. They told us when it was going to be, and I just left. I went down to the street and walked over to Thanksgiving Square and sat there and waited for the explosion. I was like, I don't want to be there at 16 stories up when this thing happened, but I'm back to normal now. My nerves have returned.
Well, that's good.
Yeah.
So let's, we've got the guitar and we've got Isaac sitting over here on cajon. Can we do We're on Fire to kind of, I mean, we're talking about the song.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the song that kind of inspired the album.
Let's do it. Let's do the namesake. You want to run it right now? Mr.
Let's do it.
Okay, cool. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay, this song's called We're on Fire, and I think it's the last track on the record.
The only things that I need are sunshine and cool air breeze. I'm wasting my time like a cloud up in the sky, but I can smell every rose I pass by. 'Cause heaven is a moment and silence is the key. I'm whispering the truth, 'cause it could murder me. I'm quiet as a shadow, it's following the light, waiting for a true love whom I'd recognize. The time is gasoline. We're on fire, oh. Poor as a young man can be, small price to pay to be free. Silver and gold may glitter and glow, but never as bright as this light in my soul. 'Cause heaven is a moment, and silence is the key. I'm whispering the truth, 'cause it could murder me. I'm quiet as a shadow, it's following the light, waiting for a true love whom I'd recognize. The time is gasoline. We're on fire, oh. Slay me, daily until my time to die. Because heaven is a moment, silence is the key. I'm whispering the truth, 'cause it could murder me. I'm quiet as a shadow, it's following the light, waiting for a true love whom I recognize. The time is gasoline. We're on fire, oh. We're on fire,
Talking with Joshua Dylan Balis this morning here on KHYI 95.3 The Range, and we're live on Facebook and YouTube. as well. Great song, and to think, just a little grease fire can inspire something like that, right?
Yeah.
Is that where most of your songs come from? They come from real life and observing things?
I'd say on this record it's a 50-50 split.
Yeah.
Some of it's inspired by real life. Some of it's historical fiction, where I'll take something and I'll dress it up a little bit. And there's a couple tunes like Coming of Age that I just had melodies, and it was all, free flow consciousness. And I wanted to dream something up, like,
Yeah.
hey, Mr. Tambourine, or whatever.
Right.
Like, let's just build a little dream and see what that feels like. So it kind of depends.
Yeah.
Yeah. I have to follow my impulses, otherwise, I haven't found the ability yet to rely purely on craft, where I'm like, I'm going to write a song about a man and a woman in 1983.
So you're not doing the whole Nashville sit in a room and write a song thing right
I
now?
haven't done that yet. Maybe in time.
Yeah.
But no, so far.
Maybe you shouldn't do that.
Yeah.
I mean, because stuff like this it's inspired, right? Even if it's a little tough, even if it takes you 2 weeks to write one song, it's stuff that's coming from you and not from, well, this is a formula and I'm going to write it down and I'm going to do it this way.
Exactly. Yeah. That's those songs tend to last longer, be stronger in my experience.
Yeah.
When I write those movies. So.
Well, and I think that's what folks love about the Texas Red Dirt Americana scene is it's real singers and songwriters. It's real life written down on the paper, and we're experiencing it through the song, through your voice, and through the drums and the guitar.
Yep.
And that's how we experience it.
Yep.
We live it through that.
Yep, I totally agree. I think the exact same thing. You're not always going to find that same authenticity on every station in town.
Yeah.
Yeah.
With your dad playing music, were you always destined to do what you're doing, or did you have other thoughts growing up that I'm not going to do that, I'm not going to give into music?
No, I never had that thought. I pretty much from the time I was forming conscious thoughts, I knew that that's what I wanted to do. I love my dad. He never pushed me in any way, shape, or form, but it's something that he loved, and so I was around it, and I saw him love it. And when I was a kid, I remember being 7 years old, and he got me this Fender Squire, and it sat in the corner for probably 3 years, and then I was 10 years old, and suddenly I picked it up and said, "Oh, my hands can fit this thing now."
Yeah.
It's a little different than, I was listening to Tom Petty anthologies, and the Strokes were out at that time, and I would just play along in my room, and I was so mesmerized, I just knew I was kind of helpless to do anything else. So I wasn't even able to do my homework. I was like, I need to listen to this. Right?
I'm failing school. I got to figure out something, right?
Yeah. I was like, well, maybe I'll just do away with school in general and work with my hands and write songs, so we'll figure things out.
Dad supportive of that?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. He was. Mom was scared. Mom was like, I just don't want you to struggle financially.
Moms are like that. My wife is like that with my daughter. My daughter wants to be an actress, and my wife is like, well, you got to have something that you can fall back on.
Yeah.
You can't go into the entertainment industry like your dad. You got to have something to fall back on.
Exactly. And Dad's like, no, you'll work 10 times as hard if you don't have anything to fall back on. I was like, I'm all in.
Yeah.
So it's never been a tough choice for me. I don't mind working harder, having a little bit of money if I can go home at the end of the day and do what I want to do.
Would you rather write a song that sells 500,000 copies or a song that inspires 5,000 people?
I would definitely rather write a song that inspires 5,000 people. If somebody's coming up to you after the show and you can see it in their eyes, that look is what it's about. Because that's the look I probably had when I was writing it, and when any artist had when they're writing a song that really communicates, that's life.
Yeah.
I know what the word is for that. That's the mysterious thing. We're always.
It's the magic you're chasing.
Absolutely.
Right?
Yeah.
So what was it like for you after putting out this album? And DFW is your hometown, and I know the song we've been playing is kind of like a love letter to your friends back here at DFW. What was it like to get up on stage the first time after putting this out and hearing people singing some of your songs back to you?
It's my favorite thing, because that's a song in particular. It directly addresses the audience, and I wrote it here, before I left, and it's so corny, but I teared up writing it, thinking about everybody else going to leave soon. That's what I was visualizing, was coming back and seeing my friends and family. is knowing the words and the story having been written and being able to spend some time together. So, I mean, it means a lot. You know, it's like any live show is a two-way street for sure. And when people are there, they're singing along, they're dancing, everything grows.
Right.
We become this echo chamber of joy. Just,
and everything just builds and builds and builds, right?
And
Right.
all of a sudden you're sweaty and exhausted and it's over and you're at the bar having a beer with your friends and yeah, it's all right.
So I'm going to ask you one last question. I'm going to get you to play another song for us.
Yeah.
The question is, what song changed your life?
Like growing up, like what song changed?
What song changed the direction of your life? What song changed your life?
Let me think. This is such a good question. I'm going through every phase of childhood. Can I give you two?
Sure.
Okay, this is an insane weird answer. I remember distinctly being in second grade on a bus from school to daycare, like a little van, and
Don't tell me it's the wheels on the bus go round and round.
No, it's even worse.
Okay.
It's even worse. This Believe by Cher was on the radio.
Okay.
And I'd never heard anything like it, and I remember being hypnotized, and I remember thinking, I feel weird, but I couldn't stop listening. And that was like an early memory, along with Fade Into You. When I was when that song first came out, my dad used to play it all the time when we'd be driving. But then there's probably something Dylan related at like 16 or 17, where I was like, it's over.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, okay. And then I spent the next 2 years like consuming all the footage and interviews I could, trying to figure out what the hell he was talking about. I have no idea, still don't. You know?
One of these days.
Yeah, one of these days. Yeah, so there's been too many to mention. I wouldn't say that Believe is one of my favorite songs of all time, but as far as music having like a strange impact on me as a young impressionable person, I was like, I've gotta find some more of this. I gotta, what is that? It was weird. It was like techno.
Yeah.
It wasn't happening anywhere in the United States at the time.
So let's hear your best Cher impersonation of that song.
You ready?
All right.
Nobody wants that.
Well, let's get you to do another one for us real quick.
Should we do another one?
Yeah.
You want to do maybe something up tempo for these morning?
Yeah, they might need that. It might speed up traffic a little bit.
Yeah. Let's get you out of that jam, folks. This song's called "Long Time Coming." It's in the cleanup position on the record.
Well, it tastes better than sweet salvation. But you might take me home tonight. Well, it tastes better than sweet salvation. But you might save my soul tonight. Well, I'm not a genius, and I'm not a fool. But if I was, I'd be one for you. Well, I'm not a genius, and I'm not a fool. But if I was, I'd be one for you. So baby, show me the light, take me inside. Every last star in the sky was one for you. And every time we touch, I can feel the same move. Baby, it's true. Every last drop in the mystic ocean. It was a long time coming, but I knew that you'd come. La 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 la. but I'm not a fool. I know enough to know I love you. So baby, show me the light, take me inside. Every last star in the sky was only you. And every time we touch, I can feel this feeling move. Baby, it's true. Every last drop in the mystic ocean. It was a long time coming, but I always knew that you would come along someday and take me somewhere far away. Some things just can't be explained. Maybe you're bending time and space. Light, take me inside. Every last star in the sky was home for you. And every time we touch, I can feel this feeling move. Baby, it's true. Every last drop in the mystic ocean. It was a long time coming, but I knew that you'd come through. But if I were, I'd be one for you.
That is awesome, man.
Hey,
I'm going to throw back a reference you're not even going to know,
Okay.
because it's long before you were born. But back in the mid '80s, a band called Trip Shakespeare.
Yeah.
And that song reminds me a lot of Trip Shakespeare. Really, yeah.
Interesting.
You definitely should check them out
Okay,
sometime.
I will. Yeah, we're gonna listen on the road.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, what time do you guys go on tonight?
I think it starts at 7. I bet Levi knows what time.
Levi doesn't know anything.
But yeah,
Levi lies
I
about
know you don't
everything. He
know.
doesn't know anything.
We'll get the time from him and then we'll know it's probably now.
Yeah. So 7.
Yeah. Good records.
Yeah,
7.
good records.
Yeah, come
Yeah,
out.
check it out. Get the album. We're on fire. It's great stuff. You guys got a cool country singer songwriter rock kind of thing going on, you know, and it's really good stuff, man.
Hey, thank you so much for having us in. It's been a blast.
Thank you for coming in. We're going to do your song Stories, and then we'll do some commercials and all that kind of stuff. Joshua, Dylan Balis, Isaac, thank you so much, man. Appreciate you, man. Drummers don't always get a lot of accolades, so I appreciate you, man. I was a percussionist myself in college, so I love it.
I appreciate it.
All right. Thank you guys for coming in this
Thanks,
morning.
Joe.
Can I get you to do a lighter for me real quick?
Yeah.
Let me stop.